Okay, and now that you've pulled together your overall strategy for the next for 2026, and you've thought about where you want your business to go, and you've reviewed your prior year numbers, and you've looked at your systems and processes, the next part is to bring that together into a more of a financial plan. And don't let financial plans scare you. It doesn't have to be that complicated. I tend to take a fairly simplistic approach to things and go, okay, well, we know what we did last year in terms of revenue. We know what our overheads and costs are. We know what our cost of sales were, that is the cost to deliver the revenue or produce the revenue. What do our margins look like? I then go to myself, well, are we going to do the same again this year? Or do we want to grow? Okay, and let's say we want to grow for starting point. Okay, can I maintain overheads? And overheads are things like rent, your power bill, stationery, phones, all those other costs that aren't directly related to producing the service or good you produce. Can those costs be held steady, or at least not grow so much as a start as you grow your top line revenue? Because that alone, holding your overheads steady while growing your top line revenue, will automatically boost profits. The second thing is then, from a financial plan perspective, is saying, okay, well, I'm going to boost revenue. How am I going to do this? All right, and this comes down to your marketing strategy and your sales strategy. Again, it's something that we go through every year. Bella and I sit down and we go through the top line number we wish to grow by, how many clients we're going to need out the back of that, and then how we actually are going to achieve that. And this social media stuff is actually part of that. For us, for 2026, it's about growing our presence on YouTube. It's about growing our podcasting revenue presence. It's about growing our social profile. Okay, and we've got metrics for that. And from my perspective as a firm, this acts as a funnel. All right? So the top of the funnel is the social media stuff we do, is the YouTube videos we do. That generates interest in the firm, which then marks us as experts, which then leads to people subscribing to our content, be it newsletters, be it marketing videos, or be it podcasts, which then hopefully eventually converts into a sale. Okay, and so you should think about your own funnel as well, your own marketing funnel. How does this translate into sales? And so once we've got that set down, we then go to ourselves, okay, well, I've got my top line revenue growth. I know what it cost me to produce that top line revenue. Again, if I'm selling a shop and I'm selling candles, okay, how much does it cost me to sell each candle? What's the cost of sale? I know that's fixed. Margin on top of that for my sales. That gives me gross profit. Overheads, let's try and fix those. That gives you a bottom line number, your profit for the year. And so the question now is, okay, that's great. I've got a great profit number. Is that more than last year? Do I want to grow that number? Or, sometimes businesses go, you know what I did last year, if I could do it again this year, that'd be fantastic. There's no harm in wanting to, keep an even keel. Maybe the business suits your lifestyle. Maybe you don't want the added stress of, opening an office interstate or overseas. Maybe you don't want the stress of adding extra staff. Okay, there's decisions to be made in terms of strategy in this space. And that's where the starting point is working out where you want this business to be, because that then flows through to your financial numbers. As I said a few minutes ago, keeping it simple. Do a spreadsheet. Months across the top, revenue, overheads, revenue, cost of sales, overheads, profit. What does it look like? Okay, does that profit number at the end of the day suit you in terms of the revenue, also in terms of the profit you want to achieve for the efforts going in? Is it worthwhile? Okay, this is the thing about business, right? It's hard. Cash flow you've got to manage. You've got to manage suppliers. You've got to manage customers. You've got to manage staff, tax. They're all really hard things to deal with. And you as a business owner are there doing it by yourself. And so there needs to be a reward for effort. So ultimately, looking at that dollar figure at the bottom of the screen, or bottom of the spreadsheet, is that dollar reward worth it? Now, for me, it's absolutely, and it's also a qualitative thing as well, because I love doing what I do. For you as a business owner, perhaps the question may be yes, maybe no. All right? And so again, strategic decision about what you want this business to look like is vital. And then the last part of having a successful 2026 is making sure you review your plan regularly. I actually do this every couple of weeks. I definitely do it at the end of every month. I sit down, I compare my budget, that is what I thought I was going to be for the month, versus my actuals. Have costs gotten too high? Are they getting out of control? Are sales meeting my expectations? Budget's not a dirty word. It's a tool to use to help you guide your business over time. It's where you think you want to be in 12 months' time. I also regularly look at our processes. I regularly look at our marketing. Social media, are we getting the eyeballs we thought we'd get? YouTube videos, are we getting the watches and the clicks that we thought we'd get through the YouTube channel? These all, are the sales inquiries coming through meeting expectations? Because if they're not meeting the expectations, then maybe our sales goals too hasn't been achieved. And so making sure you review your results regularly is really, really important, because it's a map. Your budgets and your forecast is a map, and unless you can check your map to where you're going regularly, you won't get there. This is James and Jay Scott & Co. Look, if you need some help, please feel free to get in contact. We'd love to have a chat about your business and see how we can help. I hope you have an awesome 2026.